Hi, everyone, and thank you for joining us here today. I'm your host, Leah Masten for Top Industry Professionals, TIP International Radio Podcast, where we are showcasing prestigious top professionals from all industries all over the globe to share their experience and stories of success. My amazing co-host is here with me, and we are so honored to have her as a host of the show. Originally from Namibia, she was crowned Miss Universe in 1992. Please welcome Michelle McLean.
Hello, Leah. Hello, Theodora. It's so lovely to have you here today. Our listeners are going to be so excited to hear your story. A very special guest you are. You have a fascinating story indeed. You immigrated here to the US over 40 years ago in pursuit of the American dream. I did pretty much the same thing, but you're originally from Netherlands and now residing in Orlando, Florida. You help investors from all over the world obtain the American dream, and you serve as a comprehensive source for foreign investors who seek long-term commercial investment in building up in Orlando, Florida area. Now, I happen to be in Miami, so it is really a fantastic state to be in and invest in. You're also an international award-winning broker and legal expert, principal and owner of Downtown Brokers. Everyone, please welcome Miss Theodora Uniken Venema. Hoe gaan het vandaag, mevrouw?
Heel goed.
I just threw in a little bit of Dutch there. Well, it's actually baby Dutch. It's Afrikaans from South Africa.
Afrikaans, I know it well.
So great to have
welcome,
you back, Theodora. Theodora, you have such an inspirational story coming all the way here from the Netherlands and starting a new life. Tell us about that experience and what it was like for you.
I'll be glad to, ladies. Going to a new country you've never been is definitely exciting. Did you ever do it? I know Michelle did.
Yeah.
For me, it was a huge step. I'm dating myself, but think of Eddie Murphy in the movie Coming to America. That's me. I prepared for a whole year, not knowing what to prepare for. Now, I'd always been adventuresome. At the young age of 13, I ventured out into the Swiss Alps to become the first female licensed mountain climbing guide. The fact that I crashed off the mountain through no fault of mine in the middle of my training did not stop me. I became a successful female mountain climbing guide. I simply loved it. So when I entered the legal career years later, I was looking for excitement, looking for the ultimate career, where I could make a difference for the world around me, far beyond the law. America had to be the answer, the only answer, although I had never been. Granddad was already reading American history and art. My uncle went on to America back in those World War II days on a big freightliner cargo ship, an ocean liner, no service at all to get his PhD in American law from the Illinois School of Law. My mom ventured out skating marathons in the midst of winter over Holland's frozen lakes and rivers, when women weren't allowed to race. You see where I got my inspiration. I take challenges, like my family members, mom, my uncle, and grandpa. I often find it an invitation. But later in life, I started flying airplanes. Everybody called me crazy. After all, I was a lawyer with a top job. Why did I want to fly airplanes? So I went for it. I had my license in no time at all, at which point I bought a twin-engine airplane, a Piper Aztec. And again, all I heard, I could not. Or rather, why would I? When I hear no, my friends, watch out. I have never changed. I came to America much the same way. I gave it my all. I came with just my backpack and traveler's checks. Of course, little did I know, they do not work in America. I couldn't even get a cab from the airport when I landed in Orlando. I missed my flight, and the rest is history. To tell you how disconnected I was to the American way of life, I ended up In many peculiar situations, as you might imagine, I did not speak English. I did not know anyone and just didn't understand the American way. One day I ended up on a horse. His name was Joker. Rightfully so. He almost threw me off. He was wild and he was huge. I had misunderstood my friends, telling me they were going riding. Now in the Netherlands, that means taking the family car for a scenic tour and having a delightful cup of coffee on the way. In those days, no Starbucks. Instead, a friendly waitress bringing a pot of coffee and cookies for the table, and even pouring it for us. Remember those days? Back to my horse, Joker. I ended up on Joker because he was Jack's favorite horse. Imagine the surprise on my face when Jack helped me on the saddle. Surprise. Later on, I ended up in a small airplane, a Cessna 172. I remember it as if it was yesterday. When Mike, studying across from me in the library, asked me to go flying with him. As I did not understand English yet, I had no idea what he was talking about. I had no idea what I was in for. Little did I know, and to my greatest surprise, I would be the co-pilot of his airplane that day. Friends, life is full of adventures. Don't miss out. In those days, I had only one choice. My vocabulary was exactly 2 words. It was yes or it was no. Ladies and gentlemen, no closes a door instantly, doesn't it? So my answer would always be yes. And I'd proudly carry the consequences, as you now know. I've never changed. I look for more mountains to climb every day, more challenges to reach even higher goals in life. That's my story, and I'm sticking to it.
Theodora, that's an amazing journey indeed. Now you have your Juris Doctorate and you've had over 3 decades of experience in the legal field. Tell us a little bit about your legal background and how you got into property, how you got into real estate.
And Michelle, so it started. I had a solid job at a law firm in the Netherlands. I remember De Brouw and Helbach, Holland's top law firm. I just graduated from law school, and my specialties were international tax law and real estate. What in the world possessed me to leave that security, that warm, fuzzy feeling? There was one thing that stood out from the beginning of my law school career. I was not going to sit behind a desk. So what had I been thinking going to law school? As tradition goes in the Netherlands, you go to law school for 7 years, get your master's, then your PhD, and get a job as the youngest lawyer at the firm. Climb up that long ladder for the next 40 years, and happily collect your pension at the age of 65. At which point, there remains nothing else than mow your beautiful lawn, go fishing, or play golf. However, that was not going to be my itinerary. It never was. I had banked on making a career in the financial world of international investing, much like my dad. I searched for a way. I did not speak English, which made it very difficult for me to communicate, but I pursued. I found the University of Florida needed a lawyer to build their international tax program. That was it. I had found the key to my future career. I always believed, if you want it, find a way. What an opportunity. I jumped in with both feet. Think outside the box, my friends. The road has not always been easy, but I live by my principle. When the going gets tough, the tough get going. I wanted more than what was expected of me, and I was willing to give it my all. Gave up that solid legal career with a top salary and future pension in the bank. Then you'll ask, was it worth it? By all means. It's passion that gets you over every hurdle, my friends. I went for the dream, the American dream. Today, I teach others the same, how to conquer their dream, how to make their dreams come true. My motto, visit the mouse, buy a house. That holds true for every single client of my company, Downtown Brokers in Orlando, Florida. They visit Disney and keep coming back before they settle in Florida altogether.
Theodora, you obviously don't let any obstacles get in your way. Tell us about your experience with COVID the past couple of years and how it's affected the real estate industry and or your business.
Well, let me start with saying, I don't know of any industry that has not been impacted. The industry as a whole is shifting as we speak. New Yorkers, Californians are moving to Florida in masses. Businesses as well as their families. Call it a mass exodus from those two states to Florida. My business, Downtown Brokers, has changed along with it. We at Downtown Brokers are always and continuously adapting to the latest trends. We have gotten busy building private specialty schools. We do the site selection for pre-K, kindergarten, and elementary schools, all the way up to 12 years old. Mom and dad are working these days from home, and little Johnny and Priscilla get the royalty treatment and tender loving care at school with their little friends. They learn music and languages from an early age to kickstart their life. Everybody is happy. On the other spectrum, we do site selection for fast food chains who are expanding like never before. During COVID, you remember, we all have gotten used to the eating on the go. Restaurants did not have the dining options for the longest time, but food we needed like never before. Am I right?
Absolutely.
I just returned from the Netherlands from visiting my clients. Oh, and what a trip it was. 6 COVID tests in a week. Because I did not have a vaccine from the Netherlands, just from the United States of America. So travel these days takes a hell of a lot of a traveler, thanks to COVID. But again, where there's a will, there's a way. I did not let it stop me from seeing my always favorite clients. My clients were overly delighted. I came all the way to visit them and reconvene. Understand something, Downtown Brokers has clients for life. We adapt their portfolios every time I come to include the newest opportunities, new ways to take advantage of the new real estate markets. Industrial real estate has taken a leap into the future. It used to be a boring investment. Industrial sites, land, boots and all, no high heels in the dirt. All of that has changed in the new world we live in. We all order online, you and I, everybody. We want delivered tonight or certainly tomorrow, where we used to be happy with a 2-week delivery. Am I right?
Absolutely.
No, we have left that world behind us for good. The result, huge opportunities in warehousing like never before. Look at the Amazons of this world. They are buying up huge acreage to build storage space, millions of square feet of warehousing, especially in Florida, all to serve us in order to be able to store what you and I order online. I'm sure you're looking at a catalog right now to order tonight, and you want it shipped in the early morning. The entire world has gone through a makeover, you and I. We live in a new world. Going back to the old is highly unlikely, not even desirable. Look at it this way, it's all good. Humanity has the amazing ability to adapt to the new. Look around you. We are here to stay. You and I always need to look forward.
Now, it's so amazing to hear your journey throughout your illustrious career. You have won numerous awards, honors, and featured in magazines and shows worldwide. Last year, you appeared on the famous billboard in Times Square. You graced the front cover of Tip magazine. You were honored at IAOTP's annual awards gala in Las Vegas as Top Broker of the Year, received the Empowered Women Award, Lifetime Achievement Award, and this year, you are named IAOTP's Women of the Year, Broker of the Decade, and will be featured on IAOTP's Top 50 Fearless Leaders book. Gee whiskers, this is just an incredible list of accolades. Congratulations, we are so impressed, and it is so deserving indeed. What would you say are the highlights of your career, having this long list of accomplishments?
Michelle, what would be the highlight of my career? That's a difficult question. There are so many. How odd as it may seem, remember where we started today, when my glacier climbing career took off. Remember when I was only 13? I knew from then on, I could do anything I set my mind to, regardless of what my surroundings would suggest I do or not do. I made it to America. I became a success in America like no one ever had. My rags to riches story made it to national TV on the Donna Drake show, CBS New York, and my iHeartRadio program, Only in America. And that, well, as a little girl, I was just told to go to school, study hard, make good grades, get into law school or med school, whatever my choice, and come out smelling like a rose with a high-paying job. I did all that. For me, that wasn't enough. Contrary to everybody's belief, I did land a career all the way in America. A different continent, a different world. I took up flying, as we mentioned earlier. Yes, my friends, flying airplanes. Made flight captain for the airline. Flying freight for many years. I loved it. Being up in the clouds, picking my way through the clouds, seeing the earth below me disappearing, the buildings getting smaller and then disappearing altogether, with just the landscape being left below as I fly over the great American countryside, the beaches, the mountains, the glaciers. America the beautiful, it's freedom. It's a thrill. It's what you see when you take off from JFK on your last flight or fly to Denver. The only difference, I hold the yoke. I still fly every day and love it. Every single time I lift up into the air, the world has come a long ways, my friends, since Amelia Earhart took her little bumpy bump airplane around the globe. And let's not forget Neil Armstrong landed on the moon. One giant leap for mankind. It's the same excitement I found when I climbed my first glaciers in the Swiss Alps. Life is full of thrills. Live your dreams, my friends.
Theodora, aside from your iHeartRadio show and flying planes, you sit on numerous boards. You have a giraffe. You save the seals. You fundraise for so many amazing causes, and you're super active in your community and are a humanitarian. Tell us a little bit about that.
I do what I love in work and play. I just returned from Amsterdam, as we mentioned. And of course, I did not only do the business at hand, consulting my clients on the expansion of their portfolios, but just as important, I got to play with Kimberly, my giraffe. I adopted her years ago. She's an endangered species. Kimberly lives at the Blijdorp Rotterdam Sanctuary. She's 8 years old and the mother of Banjo, her third child. And the birth was caught on camera for the world to enjoy. It is an amazing story. A young being born of this beautiful creature. Not to mention that a giraffe drops her young 6 foot to the ground at birth. Splat. And hours later, the young giraffe stands on her tall, skinny little legs to nurse with mom. Simply stunning to watch. There's nothing like it. You and I did not stand up for at least another 6 months after we were born. I had a girlfriend in elementary school in the Netherlands by the name of Susie. She actually started the Netherlands Seals Rescue Center in Pieterburen, world famous, with veterinarians from around the globe, including many American researchers. The first pup I saved, I called after my girlfriend, Susie. I have pictures of my pup everywhere. Love her. The eyes, my friends, adorable. Most recently, I rescued Bobby. You will not believe where we found Bobby. Bobby was nursing on a sheep. Another amazing story of nature. Let me explain how this wonder happened. The Netherlands coastline is low-lying country where every time the tide comes in, so come the seals. As the tide goes out, so do the seals go back to deeper water, the wide open ocean of the Atlantic. It so happens that little Bobby, a pup days old, and all of a few pounds, after he lost his mother, he was hungry. He took matters in his own hands, and Bobby found himself a sheep. The sheep adopted Bobby, nursed him along with their own young baby sheep. Absolutely fascinating story of nature. When we found Bobby in the field with the sheep, we were startled, of course. But Bobby had kept himself alive. As our sanctuary specialized in saving seal pups, we didn't think twice of picking up Bobby for some well-deserved TLC. He was an orphan. It so happens that baby seals need their mother for a month after they're born. Mom nurses them and teaches them to hunt all in 1 month. When we find seal pups left alone like Bobby, we know their mom got hurt or lost or caught in plastic wrappers. The oceans are full of them these days. We observe the pup for a few days with the herd, and when mom does not return, we take them in and heal them, operate on the wounds if they have any, we cure them. In addition, we then take on the role of their mom and teach them to hunt. Once they recuperate and fend for themselves, we return them to the ocean, some 3 months later, as healthy, happy pups. The pups will be ready for life in the ocean, back in the herd where they were born. Then, aside from giraffes and seals, I help kids succeed in school. I teach them one-on-one. A little love goes a long ways, and I turn F grades into an A. I feed the homeless. I ring the bell for the Salvation Army. I'm on their advisory board. I help regular school kids, high school kids who already want to reach beyond, take classes overseas to expand their horizons. I host governors of Rotary International, a member of the United Nations, from around the globe. This spring, I will host Tim. Tim is barely 23. He's from the Netherlands and wants to build a career in America. I will be there to coach him and teach him. I will support him. He reminds me of me when I started in America. The only difference, Tim has me to fall back on. I had no one to assist me or coach me or help me. Tim has me to hang on to lift his spirits when things do not quite work out, a shoulder to lean on, and support him to find another way. You heard me say, where there's a will, there's a way. We'll find one together. I support Dress for Success to help young professionals with career clothing when they go for their interview on their very first job. I make them good look. I'm a humanitarian at heart. I love to fly my airplanes. It's exciting, it's exhilarating. Every time I lift off, every time I fold my wheels into the belly of the airplane, every time I take in that bird's eye view from 10,000 feet, I see a geographical map. At 500 feet, along the beaches, I watch the surfers surf the waves of Mother Earth. The world around us, and in my case, underneath me, is simply amazing.
Theodora, it has been so wonderful sharing this journey with you, and I'm sure all our listeners have been totally inspired. If anyone wants to get hold of you, because there's so much that you can share, and you inspire so many people, how do our listeners get hold of you?
They can call me direct, 407-557-5446. If you need a shoulder to lean on or have questions to ask, I will always help. And of course, my website, downtownbrokers.com. It will give you all the details on the news opportunities, what I do in life, and how I have fun. As my mother said, carpe diem. Enjoy life. Pick the day. Why wait for tomorrow? Just don't accept what is. Make it better. Work is fun for me. It's exciting to help others. To stop working is to stop living. Finally, I like to see these happy smiles on my clients' faces. It's heartwarming and rewarding. And there's always a thrill every time. I solve all their issues, whatever they are. My Downtown Brokers Dream Team gets right on it. And the clients are stunned that it's even possible. That's what keeps me going and always will be. I put on more on my plate every day because I like challenges. Recently, I took up embroidery. It so happens I used to be in the fashion industry, design fashion. And yes, as a girl in school, I started designing. Went to lessons with my mom. I would draw the patterns on the floor of the living room. My dad would hate it because there was pins in every chair. I would go on in this fashion world and loved every bit of it. I started sewing with my grandma on her lap, doing needlepoint. You know what it is, needlepoint? Today, I have my embroidery machine that makes magic happen. These days, I design on the computer and make fantastic art pieces. Everyone around me suggests I should start an art studio and sell my art. Who knows what the future holds? For now, I'm having lots of fun. My competitive drive, whether I'm flying, golf, or tennis, I always go the extra mile. No wonder they call me the ever-ready battery. I just don't know where to quit, my friends. And why would I? It was so much fun. Every milestone I reach, there's always a higher goal following. Especially when I hear it can't be done, or it's out. I have fallen many times in the process, so to speak, but always find a way out. If there isn't one, I create one. From my early days in rock climbing to my flying career, to reaching the top of the real estate world. When everybody else quits, I am still quietly going on and on. I believe that's what makes success. Again, success breeds success. I rub off a lot of success onto others. Hang around me and you'll benefit the same. You'll too reach for your dreams. So keep on dreaming and never ever quit. I inspire the community around me. I save wildlife, I save the seals and the world around me. I'll keep that going for a long time. I'm loving it, all of it. My parents always supported me. That took a lot. It was my mother's drive, skating marathons in sub-freezing winter weather when women weren't allowed. Skiing marathons in the Alps before it was a woman's sport. She too set new milestones and took on the unexpected challenges to everybody's surprise. Nobody believing she was actually going to do it. She always came out a winner. Mom, it kept her young. I see myself in her shoes. So my friends, always follow your dreams is my advice and find a way. Think outside the box and you too will become a role model for your surroundings. Inspiring others, including yourself. I'm a life coach for many, hence my iHeartRadio show only in America. My rags to riches story. I came with a simple backpack years ago to the United States of America with no place to go. Didn't speak English, I'd never been here. It was sink or swim, my friends. It's my passion that pulls me through every time. Just like Neil Armstrong when he set foot on the moon, remember? Nobody ever thought that was possible, but American ingenuity made it actually happen. Success, my friends, is being able to overcome failure. It takes a fearless mindset. And remember, without a supporting environment, you can't reach success. You can't reach success by yourself. My advice, get out of your comfort zone, take that extra step and follow your dreams. And in my business, I live the dream, I get to sell the dream. You heard me say it, visit the house, buy a house. They come from across the globe. It's the American lifestyle they all want, and it shows. 100 million visit Orlando yearly. Year after year after year, Trust me, I will leave a legacy, build a better world for everyone by leading the way.
Well, you certainly do, from flying to needlepoint across continents. This has been so wonderful. Thank you for sharing your journey with us.
Yes,
I
thank you.
feel totally inspired and just a little bit feeling a little bit overwhelmed, like I should be achieving much more. But thank you, Theodora. Thank you for joining us today. And
Thank you, Theodora.
Yes, and thank you. Appreciate it. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye. Thank you.
Bye, ladies. Bye.